Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Welcome to the Our Team Podcast. I am Brian Our, and I just want to say thank you very much for being here. It looks like I'm alone in the studio, but I do have help behind the scenes. Actually, the way you're sitting, you're kind of in front of the scenes.
The voice of God is always around you.
The voice of God. Jeez, you're the voice of something, but you're definitely not the voice of... You're not the voice I hear when I hear God speaking to me.
Damn, I was really hoping it was.
Yeah, it's not. It's not the same. I am going to be enjoying some coffee during this episode. I'll do my hardest not to sip in the microphone. I've had multiple people reach out to me and say, it's really gross when you sip your coffee in the mic. I don't mean to do it. We are not being sponsored by Ticor Title. If you can see Ticor right there, we're not being sponsored, but I would be remiss in saying how much, if I didn't say how much I like all of our reps at Ticor Title. Wow. Anthony, if you're watching this.
We do still like you occasionally.
We do like you. We like Hector a little bit more.
Hector!
Yes, we do. Anyway, great people. You know, if you run a real estate team, run a real estate business, you have to have a team. Actually, here, let me reword that. You don't have to edit this because I make mistakes, right? So this is fine. I think if you're even if you're a solo agent, you need to have a team around you. And I feel like we have that with our escrow company. We have that because we have title. We have incredible people like you that are behind the scenes a lot of the time, but doing incredible things. Our transaction coordinator, right? So if I was a solo agent, there's people right there, and I haven't even mentioned lenders and people that help us repair things and get involved in helping us save deals because a roof needs to be fixed or whatever. That's part of your team. So you're not lying when you say, I've run a small real estate team, right? It's you and all those people that you associate with to make you look better, right? That's kind of what you do in every walk of life. You surround yourself with people that are better than you. I'll tell you, I'm trying to really up my game in a lot of ways in this industry. As a team leader, as a realtor, as a husband, right, to my wife, who helps me run the team and is a huge part of my life and this team. And I find that I just want to make sure that I'm in the right room, which we've heard say many times. It's kind of a phrase that's...
Got to be in the right room.
You got to be in the right room. But what does that mean? That means surrounding yourself with not just the right people, but people that are way better than you. So you...
And focused.
It kind of rubs off on you, right? I want to be in the right room, and I actually am going to a boot camp in a couple of weeks, flying to Texas, Plano, Texas. I'm going to join Michael Reese and some other Woods Davis and some other people to really help me level up in some other marketing type of strategies, and that's going to be a really good example of being in the right room.
Well, that's definitely going to be in the right room. Definitely.
You know you're in the right room when you look around and you are the dumbest one there. And that's going to be me. I'm going to be the dumbest one in the room. I'll be by far the best looking of all of them. None of this is what we're going to talk about today, though.
No, surprisingly.
How many times do you hear me say that you're more effective in your sales when you're telling stories? Storytelling.
Storytelling is key.
Storytelling is key, when you are trying to change somebody's mind or help them be open to working with you or seeing that there really is a huge degree of separation between what you do and what the average agent offers. Sometimes giving a bunch of stats and all of that just kind of just glazes eyeballs, and it just sounds like a bunch of same old, same old. But if you can tell a story that will not only help you relate to your client, but help them remember what you're trying to convey because you did it through a story, it's a lot more effective.
Anything that's relatable makes it more effective.
Exactly. You want to be relatable, right? This is a know, like, and trust business. So you want them to know you, like you, trust you. All of that can be, you can arrive at that easier, better, if you are doing it through storytelling. But here's the thing. What if you're new in the business, you don't have any good stories about that situation? What you can do is you can tell a story this way. And I encourage my team to do this because I've been doing this so long, I have tons of stories about tons of different scenarios. So it's very easy for me to say, Eric, can I tell you a quick story about this? And then go on to my story that is relevant to the situation. So I tell my team to say, hey, Eric, can I tell you a story that my team leader told me? So it's really still a story. You can tell somebody else's story without lying.
And it's also how you phrase it, though.
Yeah.
If you're careful about it, you can just say, we were having a meeting, and this was the story that we all talked about and told. Or was told to us, and I'd like to share it with you.
You didn't hear that sipping, did you?
No.
Oh, good. I don't think I got far enough off axis to this narrow pattern microphone here.
So you're going to need to step back a hair.
Yeah. So today, I want to talk about 5 elements you must include in your storytelling. And this is going to be something that we can blast through pretty quick. I think these 5 elements of storytelling are really important because they're going to do 2 things. They're going to help you frame a good story. They're going to help you write a good story for your situation. And then they're also going to remind you that those are important elements to be a complete story, right? So let's just go right into it. There's 5 of them, 5 elements, okay, that you have to include in your storytelling. The first element is to keep in mind that they need you. So if you're taking notes, write this down. They need you. Most people don't want to pay or deal with you, but the reality is they really do need you, and you have to believe that they need you. So your story has to include that they really needed you. If you have a really good listing strategy, then they really need you. If they are planning on selling their home, then they really need you as an agent if you have all of these things that you're going to tell them about and how you were able to, be that
What do you want?
instrument
Guiding light, the rock? What are you looking for?
Whatever. I mean, you were that instrument of change, or you were the good guy in that story, right? They really, really need it. Turns out they really needed you, right? So you have to believe that. It has to come across in your storytelling. I don't think these 5 are in order, but I think that's probably the first one. You have to really come across like they need you. The second element is that you have to remember that people matter more than real estate. So it's people first. So write this down if you're taking notes. Number 2, people matter more than real estate. Right? It's about the sellers or the buyers. It's not about the listing or the house they're looking for or the whole transaction. It's about the fact that they're a person. They're not a lead. They're not someone that you're dripping on, They're not someone you're just opening up a door. They're not someone you're just going to sit down and do a quick presentation so they could figure it out. They are very important, and they have really important needs, and they're about to do something within real estate or within their life that's really, really big. Buying and selling real estate is among the biggest things that people do, And so put them first, put their needs first. So your story will have to include that things that happened in that scenario, that person meant more than the transaction. You need to really live that too when you're going through a contract to close scenario. The third thing is you have to convey that you are the best decision that they'll ever make. So write that down if you're taking notes. I am the best decision you will ever make. I know there's agents out there. You're not going to say this in your story, but there are other agents that are better than you. It's true. I mean, if you've been selling real estate for 2 years and you know agents that are been out there for, say, maybe 30 years, and they've been selling, 50 homes a year for 30 years, they're probably better than you. Maybe not in every case, but you have to understand that you are the best decision they will ever make for that situation, right? In selling your home, you have to have an unshakable, unbreakable belief in yourself that this is the best decision. We were talking about this. I'm going to swerve out of this for just a second because it's a notable thing. We lease our cars, so we just traded in our cars and got two completely different cars. And we have a Mercedes E-Class that is just exquisite. We love that car. It's so well made. If you're not a Mercedes person, then I'm sorry. There's somebody out there listening to this that's a Beamer person or an Audi person going, Brian, you're out of your mind. But just listen to this for a second. There's so many things about the Mercedes that are so exquisite. I mean, for everything from just the way the fit and finish, how quiet it is when you drive, the power it has, the visibility, the creature comforts. It's nothing like our other car. It's so much better than our other car, which is a used Jeep Rubicon, right? A brand new Mercedes, fully loaded compared to a Jeep Rubicon. So if I was the Jeep Rubicon and I was at a listing appointment and I was selling a house on a dirt road, do you see how I'm not as nice as the Mercedes, but I am the best decision you'll ever make? I'm not as valuable. I don't have the experience that the Mercedes has. And there's a lot of things that aren't as beautiful. And I don't think many people would argue that. But if I'm the Rubicon and I'm going to tell you a story, I'm going to include elements that make you understand really clearly that I am the best decision you'll ever make for this situation. Does that make sense?
It does.
Was that one of my better analogies?
Yeah, it was on the bottom side.
I kind of liked it. And it was also a great way for me to brag that we got 2 new cars.
No, you got one new car and one used car.
We got one used car.
New to you.
That's right. It's always a new if it's new to you. So I am the best decision you will ever make. It's not about being the best realtor in the world. It's about being the best agent you can be for them. So that's number 3. Number 4, we're just blasting right through these. Write this down. Number 4, I deliver the best results every single time, and I love it. That's the most crucial part right there is, and I love it. People want to know that you really love doing what you do, that you're passionate about it. And so when your story has to include that element for sure, that you love doing what you do. I deliver the best results every time, and I really, really enjoy it. You cannot come across in your story has to include enthusiasm. Enthusiasm definitely sells. Enthusiasm sells even when you're selling to somebody that's not very enthusiastic. It's important, we've learned it's important to match and mirror the personality that you're talking to. If somebody's really kind of down and quiet, be down and quiet. But you can still be super enthusiastic. It doesn't mean loud and obnoxious, right? It just means put it on your face that you're really, really excited about this thing. This thing is amazing, and you're telling the story and you're including all these different elements, and you make it so clear that you are the best. You give the best results, and you love doing what you do. So that's really, really important. Passion sells, all right? You don't want to be a Debbie Downer and come across like, this is really hard. I'm really good at what I do, but man, it's hard. Oh, that's not a good angle. So, number 4, I deliver the best results every single time, and I love it. The 5th element to good storytelling, story crafting, is every person I help leads to more people I can help. So that's got to be in your story. Because, and again, if you're writing this down, write down every person I help leads to more people I can help. So it's important to convey that every relationship that you make in this business leads to more relationships. And this helps as you're including these details in your story. It really helps to reinforce the fact that you not only deserve referrals and that you want referrals, but that you're going to get referrals, right? So the story kind of is crafted in such a way with this framework that it needs to include that element. So, I want to give credit where credit is due here too. This entire podcast. If you don't know who this gentleman is, his name is Kevin Ward. He's a really good coach. This isn't an exact word for word Kevin Ward thing. It's a lot of things that I've gotten from Brent Gove, who's someone I really look up to at our brokerage, and also Tom Ferry. And so why do I have Tom Ferry, Brent Gove, and Kevin Ward on my, on just these 5 elements? Why am I tapping into all these different people to put this podcast together? It's because I'm constantly learning. I'm always, every single day, without fail, spending about 15 to 20 minutes in a book, right? Sometimes I have multiple books going at a time. I do Audible books, but, I was challenged by a coach of mine to get through a minimum of 20 books a year, to stay in an attitude of learning. And I was like, I flat out told him there's no way I can do 20 books in a year. And he was able to explain to me very quickly and show me on paper that if you spend 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 15 minutes a day, you can get through about 22 books. Pretty cool, huh? So there's no excuse for not, really boning up and learning about these kind of things. And podcasts are a huge part of that. So if you're listening to this podcast, congratulations. We have the perfect podcast for this very moment that you're listening to it, right? That sort of sounds like the third element. I'm the best decision in a podcast you've ever made for right this second. But anyway, I hope you guys found a little bit of education out of that. Had a little fun along the way. We are, as you can see right now, we have a screenshot of all these elements. You can we have it on the screen right now. You can just, while I'm stalling here, you can easily screenshot this. And then maybe you can share it with other agents that are trying to remember that storytelling is important, and you need to, sometimes you need a good framework in order to put them together. What do you think?
I think that sounds like a list.
It's a list. But guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about what we're doing here, or you want to just reach out and just chat about real estate, anything about real estate, or even if it's not about real estate, maybe you just need a friend. Eric is available 24/7. Can I give your phone number right now?
Yeah, sure. Go for that.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, thanks for joining us. We will catch you on the next one.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Yeah, do those things.
See you on the next one.
Ciao.